day to all. Today we are going to learn about 11th standard chemistry, quantum mechanical model of atom, energies of orbitals. According to Bohr's theory, the postulate says energy of an electron revolves in the nth orbit is given as minus 13.6 z squared by n squared electron volt per atom. Same thing can write in terms of kilojoules. Energy of an electron revolving the nth orbit is equal to minus 1312.8 by n squared into z squared kilojoules per mole. So in this expression, z is nothing but atomic number. N is principal quantum number. When you consider hydrogen atom or hydrogen-like atom means helium plus last one electron, lithium 2 plus, etc. Okay. So when you consider one electron system, the energy of the electron can be written as minus 13.6 into atomic number 1 squared by n squared. See, look at this expression. Your energy of the electron revolves in the nth orbit depends on the principal quantum number. So what we will say, usually when you increase the denominator, energy will decrease. But it is not so in this case. When you increase the principal quantum number, n value, your energy also will increase. When you increase your n value, energy will also increase because your numerator carries negative sign. Understood? Because you have negative sign here, when you increase the value of n, energy also will increase. So we can write the increasing order of energy levels for one electron system as 1s, then 2s. That means your 2s is having greater energy, and 2s and 2p are having same energy because they have same principal quantum number. Then 3s, 3p, 3d comes. These three are with same energy and so on. So increasing order of energy levels for the various orbitals only in the case of one electron system. Okay, now I am going to take same hydrogen atom. It has only one electron. That electron is entered into the lowest energy level, 1s orbital. So here I am going to draw this is your nucleus of an hydrogen atom. This is your first orbit, k orbit, where you have 1s orbital. Your electron is present over here. This is your 2s orbital, your k shell, this is your L shell. So this will be 2s orbital. Okay. Next comes 3s orbital, then 4s orbital, etc. In the case of hydrogen, I said the electron enters into the first orbital, that is 1s orbital. So for hydrogen, electrons enter into 1s orbital. So this is your 1s orbital where you have one electron. Okay. So this is the lowest energy orbital. This lowest orbital, I mean this is the original state for this electron, is called ground state level. Now this electron will absorb some energy. This electron gains energy and moves up to higher energy level like 2s. Okay. And it can also move up to, by absorbing some energy, according to Bohr's theory, this electron can jump up to the next highest energy level and so on. So this energy level, this state is not a ground state because the lowest energy state where the electron is actually residing is called ground state. Now this electron gains some energy and it is going up to the higher energy levels. So these higher energy levels are called excited levels. So these three are called excited state. This is called excited state. Okay. I have to differentiate this excited state. So when the electron jumps up to the next highest energy level is called first excited state. This is called second excited state. This is called third excited state. Now I saw one question in your textbook. So in that problem what they asked is find the energy of the electron. Energy of the electron in the case of hydrogen atom present in the second excited state. So which is the second excited state? This is your first excited state. For you to have a better understanding, I can tell again. This is your 1s orbital where you had 1 electron. This is your 2s. This is your 3s. 2s, 3s. Now this electron gains some energy and excited to this level. So this is called first excited state. This is called ground state. This is called ground state. This is excited state 1. This is excited state 2. Now this electron can move up to this level also. In the question what they asked is find the energy of the electron in the second excited state. We know the first excited state energy of the electron is minus 13.6. First ground state it will be 1 squared. So minus 13.6 by 1 squared. Now the question is asked for the second excited state. So energy of the electron in the second excited state is your principal quantum number is 3. So n value is 3. E3 is equal to minus 13.6 into 1 squared by 3 squared because your principal quantum number is 3. This is your second excited state. Okay. So 3 squared. So this is equal to minus 13.6 by 9 which is equal to 1.51 electron volt. So energy of the electron in the second excited state is equal to minus 1.51 electron volt. So we know the increasing order of energy levels for the various orbital in the case of one electron system. Now for multiple electron system, this is not true. And by using Schrodinger's wave equation also, it is very difficult to calculate because it is complex. So we are going to find out by a relative order of energy levels for the various orbitals based on n plus L rule. So what is n plus L rule? According to this rule, lower the value of n plus L for an orbital, lower is its energy. So now let us see how to apply this. First write orbital. Next you write n value, then L value, then n plus L value. I will write only for few orbitals. You can derive by yourself later. Okay. First orbital is 1s orbital. N value is principal quantum number is 1. Your L value is 0. Then second 2s. Here it is 2. It is 0. After 2s 2p. So when it is p, this is also 2. L is equal to 1. Next comes 3s. 3, 0. It will go on like that. Now you can add up and tell me n plus L value. 1 plus 0, 1. Here it is 2. Here it is 3. Here also 3. Here 4. Here 5. 4. 5, etc. So for multi-electron system, we can write the energy levels. First one is 1s, then 2s, because this rule says lower is the n plus L value for an orbital, lower is its energy. So 1s, then 2s. So for 2p and 3s, n plus L value is same. When two orbital gets same value, then the lowest energy level will be lower the n value. So in these two, which has got the lowest n value? 2, 2p. So after 2s, you will get 2p. Then comes 3s. After 3s, here it is 4. 4 is for 2 orbitals, both for 3p and 4s. Okay. So when there is two same values for n plus L, then the lowest will be the principal quantum number n value. So your 3p will be the lowest energy compared to 4s. So after 3s, you will get 3p, then comes 4s. Then these two are with the same energy. So when you compare this 3d and 4p, 3d is lowest number n value. After 4s, you will get 3d, then comes 4p, etc. So this is the increasing order of energy of the various orbitals in the case of multi-electron system. So now we have learnt about n plus L rule. Okay. When you consider this subshell P and D, there are 3 orbitals due to different orientations because of the directional property. Whereas for S orbital, there is no directional property because probability of finding the electron in all the direction is same. But in the case of P, electrons will be oriented in 3 different directions called X, Y, Z. So for P orbital, you have your 3 orbitals. So you may get a question whether there will be any energy difference for the P orbital. You have Px, Py, Pz for this P orbital. This can be given like this. Now what I want to tell you, all the 3 p orbitals, even though the orientations of the electrons are different, the energy will be same. So when the orbitals are having same energy, then they are called degenerate orbitals. They are called degenerate orbitals. The same thing can write for D. D has got 5 orientation. It has got 5 orientations. Okay. So in the case of D, you have 5 orientations. D electrons are oriented in 5 different directions. So you have got 5 orbitals for D subshell. They are dxy, dyz, dxz, dx squared minus y squared, dz squared. Now all these 5 orbitals with the same energy. So they are called 5-fold degenerate orbitals. So degenerate means having same energy. These 3 are same energy. So they are called triply degenerate orbitals or 3-fold degenerate orbitals. Here since you have 5 orientation, it is called 5-fold degenerate orbitals. So degenerate orbitals means having same energy. But when you apply either electric field or magnetic field, now this degeneracy will be lost. Next, there is another factor influencing here, that is called effective nuclear charge. So before we see what is effective nuclear charge, we should know force acting in the atom. So there is a force between the nucleus and the electron. This force of attraction, the force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus is called electrostatic force of attraction. In addition to this, there exists repulsive force among the electrons. So you may have electrons here, here and also here. Now there will be a repulsive force between the valence electrons and the inner electrons. This will decrease this electrostatic force of attraction on the valence electron by the nucleus. This inner electron will form a shield between the valence electron and the nucleus. This effect only called shielding effect. This is called shielding effect. So what I say? When the electron is present in the orbital, the electron will have attraction towards the nucleus. That attraction is called electrostatic force of attraction. Okay. Added to that, the electron will have repulsive force between them. Electrons will have repulsive force between them. So due to that, nuclear force of attraction will decrease. So what will be the net charge experienced by this electron? The net charge experienced by the electron is given as effective nuclear charge, given as Z star, or else you can write it as ZEFF, which is called effective nuclear charge. Okay, hope you all understood. Effective nuclear charge. Okay, this is equal to Z minus S. Z is nothing but atomic number. This is screening constant, which is given by Slater's rule. About this you will learn in the next chapter elaborately. So now we all understood what is an effective nuclear charge. Here, this effective nuclear charge depends on the azimuthal quantum number. Okay, effective nuclear charge depends on the L value. So now I am going to write the L value. L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay. As you increase the azimuthal quantum number, effective nuclear charge will decrease. Okay. So this is your effective nuclear charge. When L is equal to 0, your orbital is S. Here it is P, D, F, G, etc. So S will have greater effective nuclear charge because it is closer to the nucleus, then P, then D, and so on. Have you understood? So what I said, this effective nuclear charge depends on the azimuthal quantum number. As you increase the azimuthal quantum number, effective nuclear charge will decrease, and this says the stability of the electron also. When your effective nuclear charge is greater, stability also will be greater. For stability also I can give the same order. Okay, same order for stability too. Have you understood? So greater the effective nuclear charge, greater will be the stability. Okay, or else I can write stability is directly proportional to ZF. Have you understood? This is in the given shell. Given shell means I can take fourth shell. So this will be 4S, 4P, 4D, 4F. The same given shell, now energy order will be opposite to this. This is the effective nuclear charge. Now energy for the given shell is S, P, D, F. Now for a given shell, F will have greater energy than D. D will have greater energy compared to P than S. Why this is so? The given energy level, because your effective nuclear charge is greater, energy will be lesser for a given shell. Now, for a given shell, when you consider the same orbital, the energy will decrease as you increase the atomic number. Okay, what I said, energy of these same orbitals for a given shell. Now I am going to consider hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. Okay, here I am considering 2s orbital, here also 2s, here also 2s, here also 2s. Okay. What is the shell? L shell. For a given shell, when you consider the same orbitals, energy will decrease as you increase the atomic number. Here atomic number is 1, here it is 3, here it is 11, here it is 19. So as you increase the atomic number, for the same orbital, energy will decrease. Do you know why? This is because effective nucleus increases. Why? Because the number of protons are increasing. So the order you can write it as hydrogen 2s orbital, then lithium 2s, then comes sodium 2s, then comes potassium 2s. The energy of the same orbitals in a given shell is decreases. That is because of effective nuclear charge increases due to the number of protons. Hope you all understood. So we have completely learnt about energy of the orbitals considering Bohr's theory calculated for one electron system. There we learnt what is ground state, excited state. Then we have given the increasing order of energy levels for the various orbitals in the one electron system. Then for multi-electron system by using N plus L rule. What is N plus L rule? Lower the value of N plus L in an orbital, lower will be its energy. For P and D orbitals and also F orbitals, you have different orientations. So the orbitals are denoted as Px, Py, Pz. So what about their energies? They will have same energy if there is no electric and magnetic field. Okay? When you apply this magnetic or electric field, these orbital will be split up into lower and higher energy level that you will be learning next year. So here you learned what is 3-fold degenerate orbital, 5-fold degenerate orbitals. Next, effective nuclear charge, which is also plays an important role in deciding the energy of the orbitals. Effective nuclear charge depends on the azimuthal quantum number. So this effective nuclear charge depends on the shapes of the orbital. As you increase the azimuthal quantum number, your effective nuclear charge will decrease, but energy will increases. Okay. At the same time, I want to mention here, greater the effective nuclear charge, stability will also be greater. Okay. But when you consider same orbitals in a given shell, as you increase the atomic number, their energy level will decrease. That is also due to effective nuclear charge. That is because of number of protons. So hope you all understood today's class, energies of orbitals. Thank you.